Alright, what is going on, my amigos and amigas? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for coming back, tuning in. Whether you're at work, school, the mall, your room, your living room, you're watching with friends, I appreciate you. Thank you very much for hanging out, spending some time with Sense, aka Sensitive Society, aka Oscar. It's much appreciated. So a few days ago, this video was recommended to me. It's called Idiot Influencers Kris Tyson, and it comes from Rob's Media. I've reacted to some of his other content in the past. I enjoy his content. He's getting super close to 100k. I'll be sure to link his channel in the description below. Let's get Rob's Media to over 100k. He's one of those YouTubers that truly does deserve it. Not to glaze him or anything, but I think he needs that award, that plaque button, the 100k. So go subscribe if you enjoy my content. I'm sure you enjoy his. And it's been what, almost a year since the whole Mr. Beast Kris Tyson situation went down. I talked about it. Everyone and their mama talked about it when this situation came out. Now this video right here pretty much covers everything that happened. It's a nice recap, but in this video there's new information that I didn't even know about, and I'm someone that covered the situation. You know, there's new allegations, new stuff to cover. As soon as I got to the new report, I paused because I was watching this. I was like, okay, I gotta pause this. I gotta grab my microphone. I gotta share this with my amigos and amigas. Enough yapping. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you subscribe, drop a like, share this, and I'm excited. Let's just get right into it.
There goes a father figure the kid won't ever be able to look up to. Hard times create strong men. Strong men create good times. Good times create weak men. Weak men create hard times. Weak man times. Instead of simply ignoring this tweet, Kris dignified it by writing out a lengthy response about how he's this great parent and Tucker loves seeing him. He's giving the trolls what they want. It's so obvious. Now, despite the fake concern, there are some strange things people notice about Kris's parenting. One was a tweet referencing a TikTok video of his that got removed. The TikTok I took of Tucker pooping in the tub got removed for violent graphic content, LMAO.
I didn't know about this. What in the actual heck? Am I like 7 years old? What in the actual fuck is going on? I get it. It's your kid and you want to, record their very important moments. I'm not a parent. Right? I don't plan on having kids. I think one Oscar, one Sensitive Society is enough for this world. I don't think we need a sequel to that one. So maybe I just don't get it. Maybe this is just a parent moment where you record a video of your kid shitting in the tub and then you decide to upload it to TikTok, right? To the parents out there, because I know that some moms and some dads watch me, and as crazy as this sounds, I know there's people out there that watch their content with their kids or with their dad, and it blows my mind with their mom, dad, whatever. And I know this because you guys tell me about it on IG. So to the moms, to the dads, is this something that people do? Do they record their kid taking the shit in the tub and then they upload it to TikTok? Now, if you just keep it to yourself, whatever, that's fine. I don't care. But recording it and then uploading it to TikTok, in my opinion, in my very humble opinion as a non-parent, I think it's weird. I don't know how I feel about that one, Chief. That one ain't it. See, this is why Rob's Media is the GOAT. This is stuff from a few years ago that I never cover. I mean, at the time, there was so much stuff coming out. It was hard to keep track. I never talked about this. This is new. And yes, we have a lot more stuff to cover.
Yeah, it's totally weird that TikTok would remove a video showing a naked baby shitting in a bathtub. Who is this video made for besides pedophiles? I don't get it. In late 2022, Kris would post a picture of Tucker.
Okay, yeah, I remember this picture. Well, first of all, I want to address another picture. This one. This is the infamous EDP photo that he sent to what he thought was, a 12, 13, 14-year-old? Someone that was clearly a minor. Imagine it wasn't a decoy and it was an actual girl. Imagine receiving this picture at like 11 p.m. You're talking to this guy. Well, first of all, if you're talking to EDP in a sexual way, you have other issues to worry about, but I digress. And imagine receiving this fucking picture. I would be terrified. I think this would kill my any sexual thoughts that I might have for like the next 2 decades. It'll be that bad. Bro actually thought he looked good to fucking send this to what he thought was a minor. I mean, since we're talking about creeps, it just felt natural, Kris Tyson, EDP, and now we're going back to Kris Tyson. This image, holy fucking shit.
In late 2022, Kris would post a picture of Tucker in high heels with the caption, "Tucker chose to slay this morning." Now this encapsulates some of the main criticisms I saw of Kris during this time. It's not that Kris is trans, but rather the possible influence it could have over their son.
When you look at the reasons Kris publicly states for their transition, talking about how, like, from the age of like 5, look at this tweet right here. This is ironic because I used to go to Jimmy's for internet access. It wasn't the internet or people or anything. It was me seeing the clothes in my sister's closet at 5 and knowing I enjoyed wearing those clothes. The next 21 years was for learning about gender dysphoria. So to me, it's like, okay, well, if Kris is saying that a considerable factor in, them, realizing their gender dysphoria and deciding to transition, 20 years later, is because of them wearing women's clothes, well, then obviously if there's a considerable amount of people, talking about how, oh, they're going to transition their kid or something like that, then posting a picture like this, at worst, it's validating what those people are saying is true. And at best, this is just outrage, clickbait that Kris put up just to, quote unquote, fuck with the trolls,
I mean, I doubt it was rage bait to fuck with the trolls. Why would you use your kid to fucking own the trolls, to own the haters? Am I right? It's just, nah, dog. I truly don't think it was to own the haters. And, going by his own argument, Kris Tyson used to, I guess, dress in his sister's dress or clothes back in the day. And, that's what got him feeling indifferent and not knowing which way to move, and that eventually led to him transitioning. I mean, isn't that the same thing he's doing to his kid right now? Or, a few years ago. Now Tucker is like, what, 4, 5, 6 years old? Yeah, it's like, it's a weird thing to do and say. I don't know. Kris, I don't care that he's trans. Or sorry, she, they, I don't know what pronouns they go by. They, I'll just be neutral. I truly don't know what his deal is. And no, I'm not just hating on Kris Tyson because they're trans or whatever. I just think they're annoying, and I mean, that's the main thing. They're just pretentious, arrogant, weird, sus. I think I'm the only commentary channel saying sus in the Big 25. I don't know, he has negative aura, as the kids would say nowadays. It's just negative risk, negative aura. It's just like, it doesn't matter if you're trans, it doesn't matter if you're straight, or if you're pink, blue, black, white. It just, your whole vibe is just weird. AF.
Now, something a select few took note of is that after her transition, Kris began sharing more sexually explicit photos of themselves online. Like photos showing off their ass.
Damn, what's she gonna think though? Okay, Paul. I mean, cake is cake, am I right? Oh my god. And I cannot believe I just said that. My mom watches these fucking videos. I'm sorry, mom, if you made it this far. I hate that I saw that, and I hate that you guys had to see that. Sorry if I'm completely sidetracked now. All I can think about is Kris Tyson's cake, and not in the good way. Not in the way you guys are thinking. Holy shit. I'm gonna have nightmares about this. I'm recording this video like at 1 a.m. This is what I'm doing on a Friday night at 1 a.m. guys. This is peak life right here. Just fucking looking at Kris Tyson's ass. That's amazing. I love my life. Anyways, I completely lost my train of thought. Let's just fucking continue.
Now, something a select few took note of is that after her transition, Kris began sharing more sexually explicit photos of themselves online. Like photos showing off their ass. Not exactly wording off.
Okay, bro, come on. What the fuck? Rob's Media, I know that I told everyone to go subscribe to him. Not anymore. Everyone fucking unsubscribed from Rob's Media for fucking flash banging me. Pause. That's not kind of sus. But for fucking putting these 2 pictures back to back, it's like, come on, did I really need to see this? And I know that I'm showing you guys, but now I'm really considering my life choices.
It wouldn't be until June 25th when the doc outright admitted that the rumors are true. This led to his friend, fellow streamer Nick Merks, to disavow him. Though a few days earlier, he posted this Twitter video calling out those attacking him.
Look, I open Twitter, bunch of my mentions are he, they, she, hey, they, fucking, I identify as a helicopter. God damn it. And I seen the couple tweets about the doc. I'm as taken back as a lot of you guys are, okay? But the fact remains that these are some crazy accusations. Crazy. Big time accusations. And until we know more, until we know them as fact, until they've been proven with evidence, what are we talking about? What's anybody talking about? As far as the leave little kids alone stuff, this doesn't make it any further from the truth. Leave little children out of your shit. Have a nice day.
Kris would get involved by simply posting, "Me every time I post on Twitter," attaching a shorter clip in the video.
My mentions are he, they, she, hey, they, fucking, I identify as a helicopter.
It's a very lighthearted post, though it got Nick's attention. You should be ashamed of yourself. Leaving behind your wife and child to play pretend? One day you'll wake up and realize what you've done. Kris clapped back with, the protect the kids crowd. When someone is a loving parent, versus when their boy is currently facing SA accusations.
Now, if you know how everything played out, this is extremely ironic because just a few months later, well, allegations came out about Kris Tyson. And not only the ones you and I know about, the newer allegations, not to spoil the video, all right, but there's a section here, and we're gonna get into it soon, where there's like some very, I guess, SA-ish allegations towards Kris Tyson. This did not age well at all. This aged like fucking milk from 1805. Did milk exist in 1805? I'm sure it did, right?
One of the first concerning things brought up about Kris was a YouTube video they uploaded on March 5th, 2014. This video is titled, Jeanette McCurdy Picture Leak Info Plus Link.
Why? Okay, before we continue, why would anyone ever make this video? I know it's just because you're like, oh, people are gonna be looking for this, and I'm gonna be able to get like 1,000 views from all these gooners out there, right? It is such a weird video to fucking make. And on top of that, it's such a fucking weird video to make and put your face out there. Like, I'm sure, you know, he didn't have a fucking crystal ball and he could look into the future and be like, okay, in the next 5 years, I'm gonna be working for Mr. Beast and I'm gonna be hella rich. Of course not. Even I, if I was like 15 years old, I would never, ever make a video like this, let alone put my fucking face in the video. There's a higher chance of me fucking dying than to ever doing that. So Jesus, dude, some people, you could hand them everything, you could give them the fucking keys to the castle, and they would still find a way to fuck it all up. And I think Kris Tyson is a perfect example of that.
Bit of context. The former iCarly co-star had sexual images of her leaked, allegedly by her ex-boyfriend, NBA player Andre Drummond. Now, there's misinfo about Jeanette being underage, but she was 21 at the time. Still, pretty fucked up that these images got leaked. Kris decided to spread the word in a 2-minute video.
How's it going, you guys? So, recently everybody's been hearing about the Jeanette McCurdy leak of her photos, and I know a lot of people were wondering about it, so I decided to do this little video to my 20 subscribers that may care, may not care, and if you guys are watching, thank you for watching it.
What would anyone care? This has to be legitimately top 5 worst videos to ever fucking come out. Oh my god. Yeah, to my 20 subscribers, I might be gooning some leaked images. Here you go. I got you guys. I'll hook you up.
Subscribers that may care, may not care, and if you guys are watching, thank you for watching it.
It's just a 2-minute video meant only for his measly little following. It's not like he crammed a shit ton of tags so that other people can see it.
If you want to see them, I mean, I'm not endorsing people to go look at somebody else's private business, but I know that, you know, people might want to see them, so it's there if you want it. First off, what I have to say, though, is that when you look on the news, you see people, they've leaked nudes from their girlfriend at a high school, and that girl kills herself. It's a tragic story. Everybody calls the guy a bully. But, yeah, when people like Perez Hilton do it, it's considered entertainment. So you kind of have to think about where the right and wrong is, really. And I think it's all wrong, personally. I don't think somebody should leak photos that were sent in trust.
This is like a nice guy moment. Man, I just hate when girls get their images leaked, guys. But if you guys want some, I got you. Just hit me up on my YouTube channel. Like, dude, come on. I think he was like 20 years old making this fucking content, dude. Holy shit.
But I guess if that's how President Hilton wants to make his living, it's up to him. You decide. You decide if it's moral or if it's immoral. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay awesome.
That entire end monologue becomes completely useless, since they link to these leaked images in the description.
Hey guys, how's it going? Earlier today, some lucid of Nickelodeon star were leaked out onto the interwebs. I do not support the leak, and I'm not condoning these actions. Link! This shit cannot be fucking real, man. I can't. I'm crying. I'm fucking crying, dude.
It's not an article describing the situation or a rickroll. It's flat out just a page containing nothing but the images. Kris will write, I do not support the leak and I am not condoning these actions. Yet all this is to me is plausible deniability. Even more damning is that as soon as people pointed this video out, It was silently deleted with no statement from Kris. People took note of the channel's username, TysonBoy34, which is similar to a Reddit account by a similar name. And yes, Kris is a Reddit user, which would be bad enough, if it weren't for some of the depraved stuff they had on there. Kiwi Farms user slur.exe found the account due to a post Kris made themselves, when they were once again arguing with some rando on Twitter. To sum it up, someone said the old Kris would have called them a fag, to which they responded with, "The old me was a fag too," showing a Reddit post from 2015. This user definitely is Kris, as they'd respond to posts as Mr. Beast's best friend. They also made frequent posts to r/4chan, once writing, "Yeah, BBC cucks are already downvoting me, because he said he showered. Obviously, whoa Kris, calm down mate." In another post, this time on a different subreddit, they wrote, "When I was circumcised, according to my parents, the doctor left some of the foreskin because my grandma forced my parents to get me cut."
Does Kris Tyson not know about having a burner account? Come on, dog. You might as well do this on the Kris Tyson account at this point and just put your full information out there. In your attempt to own someone for calling you the F slur that I cannot say because last time I said that I got completely demonetized. In your attempt to own the noobs with the F slur, you exposed your Reddit account and then people found out about your personal life and stuff. It's like, do you not have like more than 2 brain cells? Can you not censor the name? It's like, are these people like retarded? And just common sense, just use a fucking burner, dude. Come on. And now we're getting, as my amigo KSI would say, we're getting into the thick of it, guys. We're gonna get into the Discord messages, and then the new Ava, Kris Tyson, the iconic queen, and the allegations against her.
On the night of July 27th, 2024, the website kriscaught.github would go live, and oh boy is there a lot of shit on here. Because of that, I'm mainly going to be reading through some of the more damning messages and giving context when needed. First thing to note is that the age of these users is very apparent. A lot of teenagers on here, with Kris being in their early 20s. There's also a user on here named Discount Milk, who is allegedly an old friend of Kris and Jimmy's, and went to the same college as the former. There's some really shady stuff with this guy, so much so that Lava mentions he needs to be investigated. I have seen the leaks. While not as nearly damning as everyone thought it would be, there's a few individuals in the leaks who deserve to be investigated. One named Milk, who is an IRL friend of Kris and the same age as them, was someone me and Nathan grew to despise, and I'm sure he will agree with me on that. He was a disturbed individual, and we fought tooth and nail with Kris to get him banned, which did eventually happen. A user on Kiwi Farms claims to have known Discount Milk, claiming he's a narcissistic asshole who's a professional Reddit mod. I believe this because those two things are practically hand in hand. Milk was mainly a moderator for r/admincraft, and shut it down for nearly a year in order to move people to his Discord. There he would throw massive temper tantrums, and would ban those who slightly disagree with him.
Most normal and least power-hungry Discord and Reddit moderator. Holy shit. This is why I keep telling you guys, I've said this in my newest video, I don't remember which one, but I was talking about Discord, and how it's low-key the downfall of so many YouTubers, and I guess creators overall, with how bad the servers get. It's like, people ask me all the time, they're like, yo, Sans, when are you gonna make a Discord? Or can you open one? It's like, hell no. I would need to be paid a lot of money for me to even attempt to make a Discord. And even then, it's like, it's not even about the money. It's just craziness waiting to happen. I could already see it. I could imagine. So no, there will never, ever, ever be a Sensitive Society Discord. I only have 2 social medias. That is Twitter and Instagram. And they're both linked below. You know, DMs are open if you want to reach out or say hi or send me fan art. But I'm never, ever making a Discord server. I get it. There's more good people than bad people. But it only takes a handful of people to, you know, fuck everything up. So I'm telling you guys, I'm warning you, if you're a YouTuber, unless you have moderators and, you know, that kind of stuff locked down who are really about it, no. Stay away from Discord.
Farmer notes that it's not surprising Discount Milk would associate with Kris. This Milk guy can be seen throughout many of these messages, like this one where they share an unknown image. Kris replies, "She's only 14? Damn. What did you think she was? 16, illegal in some states. Oof, of course. If she's 14, I'm 14. Not sure what this image is, but it possibly might be some sort of Shadman type art piece they were talking about, as Kris would post links to his website, again, on a server with minors.
I mean, that's the thing. Like, I get it. People are edgy in DMs and they're edgy with their friends. I'm no different, right? I'm not gonna claim to be a fucking angel. Like, I'm not edgy on Instagram. It's like, yeah, you know, I'm an edgy guy. You know what I mean? Not to sound too cool or too base. Okay, that sounds so retarded. But in all seriousness, like, yeah, I mean, I like being edgy. I like edgy humor. And this just sounds like people fucking around. The issue is that people that I'm talking to and, you know, fucking around or being edgy or whatever, they're adults. They're over 20 years old. I'm not talking to some fucking 14-year-old about being edgy or being like, oh, she's only 14. That's so hot. Or, you know, whatever the fuck the conversation was. It's like, no, I would never, ever have conversations like these with like a 13-year-old, a 14-year-old, a 15-year-old. It's like, come on, dude. If they're your friends and they're of age, okay, go crazy. I'm not gonna police what you say. I don't care. But when it's a public and open Discord server or chat and anyone could join and you have fucking 14, 15, 16-year-olds and you're sending God knows what, it's like, yeah, that's a bit weird. I wouldn't do it. Believe it or not, I would behave around the younger people because it's just a common thing to do, right? I'm not gonna, you know, be all edgy and shit to fucking 14-year-olds, you know what I mean? Let alone send inappropriate messages and images. It's just like, once again, it's just common sense, guys. Common sense. Use your fucking common sense.
Chris and Milk would also refer to this user, Daddy Log, as a lolly god, and
Oh
the
my
server is
God.
designated lolly. Whatever the fuck that means. Now, remember that tweet where Chris begged Shadman to draw Raftelia? Well, I believe this message is in reference to it, since the time frame matches up. New lolly on the Rising Shield hero. Discuss. Just saw your tweet. Dragon lolly is overprotected. At least in the show, they say she's like 400 years old or something. Fucking Food Wars introduces everyone as a year 1 high schooler, and then the next scene is her in her underwear. Yikes. Chris then gives out their snap, and a chatter references Shadman. Refreshing Shad base daily, lol. Literally same. All day, every day. Chris sends a photo with the caption, Waterproof phone gang. Other users refer to them as Daddy, mention Chris being moisturized, and Nathan asks if they're in the shower.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure the whole moisturize thing was a meme back in the old days of the Mr. Beast channel. And how do I know this? This is not to defend Chris by any means. I mean, I don't really watch Mr. Beast that much anymore, but back in the day, I'm talking 2015, 16, 17, I used to watch Mr. Beast all of the time. I've been watching him since Mr. Beast had like 800k, 700k, 600k, around that area. I discovered him when he had less than 1 million subscribers. And I remember, you know, he was a lot edgier, a lot funnier, truth be told, than what he proceeds to do nowadays. But I understand why. I get it. There was this whole Asian sticker, Eric the Asian sticker, if I'm not mistaken. That was a running bit. And there was also a running bit to that Chris would moisturize. Or he had a phrase like, make sure you stay moisturized or something like that. I don't think this is like in a sexual manner. I'm just trying to be fair with everyone. But I'm pretty sure this is what the reference. So just for a little context.
The user then asks for Chris to send nudes. Before the server's designated lolly comes in. So, from what it seems, Chris is sending semi-nude pictures of themselves in the shower to a server full of minors. In another message, Chris links to this Reddit meme. The PlayStation 2 is 17 years old today. 1 more year until I can fuck my PS2. Discount Milk reacts with a simple, oh, before Chris adds on, I like my PlayStations around 13 years old. Alright, how many times does Chris have to joke about having sex with kids before I can reasonably say they want to fuck kids?
Yeah, that's a good question. Like, once again, I get being edgy and shit, but I would never say this around little kids or people that are younger than me. You know, I also think to myself, what if I was like 15 years old and this 22-year-old guy, 21-year-old guy keeps talking like this in a very sexual way, lolly and Snapchats and nudes and all of that. It's like, I would feel extremely uncomfortable if someone was sending me that kind of material. You know what I mean?
YOLO. Uwu is way cuter, bruh. Buzzes your necky wecky. Fight me. Love you guys. Nuzzles peen.
What?
Uwu unzip stick.
If anything, he should be locked away for these messages. Who the fuck talks like this? So Chris was 20, 21 when he was typing like this. Nuzzles pen. Ooh, shows dick. Like, Oh my god, you should have never been a fucking parent, dude. I feel bad for your kid. This shit's embarrassing, my man. I don't know. Oh my god, I don't even have words for this shit, dude. I feel secondhand embarrassment reading these messages and just fucking seeing them. And now we get to the main reason why I'm making this video, because we got new stuff to cover. I'm not gonna waste your time. We just want to make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, drop the like, have notifications on, and strap in, because it just gets very interesting from here.
And seeing that there were alleged predators on the server, the ultimate goal could have been the exploitation of these kids. This is still technically a theory, but some really bizarre shit happened here, and you can't doubt that. The GitHub site remained up for a few days, but was strangely taken down on the 31st. Nathan claims it could have been because of a cease and desist from the MrBeast team, but in reality, it was because the site violated terms and services. There's a news site hosting the leaks, and I'll be linking it in the description below, along with the many other sources I used for this video. Around the time the Discord got leaked, another person came forward with their own experience regarding Ava. Something more recent. Muskina, who I'll just call Jess, made allegations regarding sexual assault, which does lead down another important rabbit hole, and is crucial for the next few sections of this video. Jess reached out to Kris in November 2022, before the latter had announced their transition. Kris would ask about the process of taking HRT, and the two would begin talking every day. Jess soon asked if she can get a job at MrBeast, with Kris saying she can at least get her in a challenge video. Though things between them soon got sexual after her and Kris started exchanging numbers. She wrote, "On one occasion, she asked me to join a video call and asked me to masturbate even though she knew I wasn't feeling well, which led to me joining her and then puking after a few minutes. Our conversations always leaned in the direction of affectionate and sexual, and she sent me a lot of sexually explicit Snapchats, messages, photos, and videos. She claims that they had a confusing relationship. A relationship that Kris would escalate after flying her out to North Carolina."
Yeah, man. So many things wrong here. Like, if a girl says, I'm not really feeling well to do X, Y, and Z, I don't want to come across as a performative male, but it's like, you should respect that boundary. You know what I mean? Like, if the girl isn't feeling well, just know when to call it quits, and you would expect someone who's married at this point. I mean, was Kris Tyson married in 2022? I mean, this is pre-transition and also pre-announcement that they got divorced, and if I'm wrong, please, I'll correct it, or feel free to correct me. But it's like, not only are you pressuring this girl to do something that she doesn't want to do when she's clearly not feeling well, you're also potentially cheating on your wife, and you have a whole ass kid, or at least one on the way. It's like 3 fuck ups in a row. Once again, these are allegations, but it is not a good look for Kris Tyson with the K.
First night at her house, she told me to set up in her bedroom, as I would be sleeping in there with her. I thought that this was potentially the beginning of a relationship. When we went to bed together that night, we ended up cuddling and kissing, which led to her taking her clothes off and asking for oral sex from me. I went down on her, expecting to engage in sex that would be reciprocated, but when I was done, she made it clear that she did not want to return any sexual favors to me. I was hoping that this would not be the case next time we hooked up, and I believe we would be moving to something more mutual. Over the course of the next week, Ava engaged me sexually, and ended up receiving oral pleasure several times, but she never reciprocated any sexual favors in return when I was done. I was too scared to directly ask for anything in return, and she took advantage of that. The day she first posted publicly that she was on HRT was also the first week I was there. After making her post, Jimmy called her later that night while Ava was receiving oral sex from me. She answered the phone and had that conversation of Jimmy, while I continued to perform oral on her.
Taking a business call while getting head gotta be either top 10 epic moments of your life or like top 10 most gooner moments of all time. It truly does sound like Kris Tyson needs help. She might need a sex therapist, because this guy is just like on a gooning streak. Holy shit. I think Kris Tyson might be more of a gooner than fucking EDP and other predators out there. I'm not saying Kris Tyson is a predator. Officially, he hasn't been arrested or anything, but it does not make him look good. Take everything away that he's done. Take everything away. This allegation makes him look so like such a shitty individual.
I was again now given access to very private information, which made me feel special. Something that happened consistently throughout our relationship. Kris is just having an important work meeting while casually having her gawk blown out. The most insane gooner behavior, but I would not expect less from Kris at this point. Jess then alleges that Kris never had the ability to cast someone for a MrBeast video, making it seem like Kris flew her out of false intentions. After flying back home, Kris would slowly stop showing her the same level of affection. Later, in the summer of 2023, Kris offered Jess a job as her personal assistant, while also allowing her to permanently move into her house. During the 2-week trial period, Kris would continue receiving oral sex from her. After she came back from a short trip, she then alleges that Kris sexually assaulted her. On July 29th, we were watching TV together alone in her living room. With no warning, prior physical engagement, or sexual conversation, she took off her pants and started touching herself in front of me. I had just moved in with Ava and left my job to come work as her assistant.
That sounds like a total fucking nightmare. Imagine watching TV, you're chilling, you're watching Love Island with your Labubu and your Dubai chocolate, and you know, you're like, yo, let's put the new Sensitive Society video on, right? And then you turn around and fucking Kris Tyson has no pants. That sounds absolutely terrifying. I'd rather be in a Terrifier movie. I'd rather be in a Friday the 13th movie, Halloween, Chucky, whatever you guys want to call it, than to be in the same room as Kris Tyson. Like, you could just tell this guy masturbates like 20 times per day. This is a horrifying thing to imagine.
In no way, shape, or form that I feel like I could say no, without somehow risking my job or being asked to leave. She used that against me to receive non-consensual oral sex. This was the moment that truly broke me for the first time. Nothing was enjoyable. It felt like it would never end and my entire body just hurt from performing the act. The two would later talk about it while Jess was on vacation, where they agreed to not engage in explicit sexual acts. Jess claims they did hook up one more time in December, but that their relationship started falling apart due to Kris apparently being very manipulative. Jess and Kris officially broke up in the spring of 2024, after Kris began hooking up with someone else. Jess was to then be replaced as Kris's personal assistant, though she instead opted to leave on her own accord. She would then report her to HR, leading to the Mr. Beast company launching a third-party investigation. Then all the drama came out, leading to Jess coming forward.
You know what? Would I be surprised if all of this turns out to be true? Not really. And, you know, they're all allegations for now, as far as I know. These are like the last bit of info that we had on Miss Kris Tyson. Miss or Mrs.? Doesn't really matter. I don't know. I guess Sunny V2 was right. This became Mr. Beast's nightmare. Well, not really, because Mr. Beast is killing it. He's doing big numbers. His show came out. It was actually good. I saw the full Beast games thingy with my family, and it was actually really good. I thought about making a review about it, but I just never did. But yeah, Beast Games, W show. His numbers are insane. He's rich. He's helping people that need it. He's doing great. It definitely dented his reputation a bit, because I know it got bad when my mom asked me about Kris Tyson and what was going on with Mr. Beast and all of that, and I'm like, oh, so it's like hitting the normal folk, the people that are not really online. So very interesting, very interesting. But anyways, that's all I wanted to cover. This video is like 2 hours. This video that I'm making should be 35 minutes, maybe, potentially. I don't want to steal Rob's media and his full video, so it's going to be linked below. Make sure you check it out for more context, for more info, for more stuff. I just wanted to cover the stuff that I never got to cover, pardon the redundancy. But anyways, what do you guys think of the situation? Let me know in the comments below. I appreciate you. Thank you for spending time with me. Make sure you're subscribed and hit the like button. And with that said, I'll see you next time. Bye.